Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of A Different Perspective, Raising Vibrations While Chasing Squirrels. With me, Beanie Man, Mo the Service Dog, and of course you know Mr. Squirrel, John Thunderheart.
That's me. What?
And today we welcome my wonderful friend, Brenda Martinez, and we've known each other for a minute. We'll just leave it at that.
Yeah.
We'll just known each other for a minute. So, and I'm in woo-woo heaven because of my woo-woos.
Woo-woo. Woo.
Well, because here's the thing, and I love it, and thank you for being here.
Thank you for
sharing
having me.
and you know, and so tell us a little bit about what you do, because I can't remember it all.
I do a handful of stuff.
That's why I can't remember.
The Akashic
And a
Records.
mouthful. Yes.
Right.
Say it all 3 times fast.
All
No.
3 times. All 3 times fast.
Good one.
Ooh.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
See, that's why we're friends, because
Swift.
keep up, man.
I would have been trying to spit on people, you know.
So I do Akashic readings, which takes a look into people's past lives, how that past lives are affecting them now. I can do that anywhere from just their personal life, their children's life, their relationships. So there's a gamut of stuff that I do in there.
Mm-hmm.
I also do house clearings at the Akashic level, being able to know what was underneath that house before it was built, or what's in the house. Yeah,
That's pretty cool.
Which is way fun, and clear it at the Akashic level.
Okay.
And for those that don't know, the Akashic level is just a kind of a 5th dimensional area that all knowledge is stored, but the way to access it is through the person that you're reading.
Okay.
Because it's everything that you've ever been through, done, thought.
So it's kind of like the
with
soul
you.
contract that we have. Is that?
It's where it's where.
Or is that where my
you're-
soul contract is
Yeah,
stored?
it's where it started.
Oh, okay.
It's where you were divinely created,
Okay.
and it starts there, and from there, forever is your story.
And because I'm a visual person, I'm picturing Santa right now when he puts the naughty nice list down, and it's just like phew.
Yep, that's it.
That's
That's it. But the cool thing is I don't
That's the
just,
visual for me.
I don't just look at anything willy-nilly.
Mm-hmm.
It's specific.
Okay.
I'm going in to find out what exactly is that happened that's affecting you now.
So if I go to you and it's like, I'm really screwed up, can you help me figure out why?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's it in a nutshell. I mean,
Yeah.
you know, it's like...
Yeah. So that's one of the things I do.
Okay. One of them.
The other is the Reiki. That's where it all started with me. I didn't even realize I was psychic until a couple years into doing Reiki, when I started having images and words and...
Once the energy started flowing and moving through you, you became that channel.
Yeah, in a big way. And now that I'm actually verbalizing, it's really going out there. Now that I've come out,
And now it's out
of this
everywhere
closet.
forever.
And so I went into teaching that, and I'm more active in teaching right now than I am with clients, and I'm okay with that. I love the teaching aspect of it. And then my next adventure is Chaostrology.
Who?
Chaostrology.
Like chaos?
Like the chaos theory.
Chaos astrology? I mean, that's what I'm hearing.
Yep, it's based on the chaos theory.
Okay.
But it's a more scientific approach to the astrology chart.
Mm.
And it's based on the magnosphere of where it is at when you were born, and how your karma, what you brought from those past lives into this life, and how you designed your chart to fit how to create a better life in this lifetime to overcome that karma.
Nice. I like that.
And I hope to I'm looking to eventually combine the Akashic with that chart, so that I can
was just
tell people.
thinking-
Yeah, but so was I.
I was
So I
just
can
thinking,
tell
it's like, if you
people-
combine the two, it's like, whoa!
So I can tell
It's like
them.
the atomic bomb. You know?
Right?
Damn!
So when I found out about this modality, that was my it was like, oh, what?
I never even heard
The light
of
went
that.
off.
Yeah.
That is so cool.
So it's a new to. It's been around for about 30 years, but it's kind of just now going out into the public. The book's going to be published here within this month on it. And I'm helping edit the book right now because of my ability to go back and look at the past and
It's called a gift, darling, because
yeah,
of your
thank
gift.
you.
And then you were mentioning when we were talking before we started recording that this is a more accurate alignment, I guess.
Very accurate. We're 95 to 98%. And it can help you with not only knowing your karma and your dharma, but it can help you with your career path. It can help you with the business that you already have, aligning with the transits and whatnot coming up.
So you said you're in training for that right now?
I am in training. I may
So
be
you
in
need-
training
so you
the
need-
rest of my life.
So you need a guinea pig?
Yeah. or two.
Or two.
If you need volunteers, sign me up.
It's really cool, and I'm actually at the point that I can see myself having at least my first certificate. There's 5 certificates that you can get, and I will have my first certificate by the beginning of this coming year.
Nice.
Wow.
That is so cool. So you give the 2020 vision a whole new meaning then.
Right.
So why is it more accurate?
Because it is a sidereal chart instead of the tropical chart.
Now, what is the sidereal?
I was just going to say, what is,
So-
which is which?
So tropical is Western,
Okay.
sidereal is Eastern.
Oh, so it's like the Vedic type of astrology, and
Yeah, it's old school.
right.
But where sidereal says the planets are, they are.
Mm-hmm.
Instead of tropical, they're 25 degrees. So a lot of people think that they're one sign. You're actually a whole different sign. And like this past
What
week,
do you mean? I'm actually maybe not a Leo?
maybe.
But I like being a Leo. Because here
So if you're born in the middle of the month,
It just depends on where the stars
So
are.
it's
And there's
yeah.
so much more to it than just where you were, where it was. I mean,
yeah.
when you start getting into it, it's like, well, where was your sun? Where was this? Where was that? How does that aspect correlate all into it? It's huge. Like this last moon though, they said it was in Taurus. It actually didn't go into Taurus until the 13th late in the afternoon here in the United States.
Wow. And what's Mundo?
Oh, the moon does all kinds
Oh,
of
moon.
things.
Oh, I thought it was M-U-N-D-O. Mundo.
El Mundo
You just
is
think
it's a
oh.
TV station.
That's
Oh, yeah. Oh, en Canal 47.
I am Martinez, but I can't tell you.
I got nothing.
It was like Juan, no cruce de Liga del Rio.
Mundo.
I got nothing. I got nothing.
I know, I'm going to get wax removal services.
It's also how I talk, so it's all good.
God, I love you guys. This is awesome. But no, I mean, I just find that so fascinating. So what got you started in that, or did I miss that part?
Wait, it's divine intervention.
There's no coincidences, I guess.
No. I started my business a year ago this past July with the Akashic Readings. Gangbusters. I just, referral after referral, I didn't even have time to get my footing underneath myself that I was so busy. But by December, January of this year, it just stopped. And I went, okay, what do I need to do now? So I went out networking. And I think it was last year or sometime, networking. But it was this.
Because your vibe attracts your tribe.
That's right.
And which is connected. I mean, and there's no coincidences. There really are no coincidences.
No. And I was divinely guided to start networking. And
Oh, I thought you were going to say I was divinely guided to talk to you.
well, I totally was. I totally was with you. That was way before this. But then I met John Curran at Curran, and he was in one of my networking groups, and he's like, I'm writing this book about Chaostrology, and it was like, my antennas just went, what? And I didn't even know why I was so excited about it, but it was like somebody just opened this box of candy, and I couldn't resist it.
I get that.
And it was like, oh, tell me about
It's like
this.
a magnetism.
Yeah.
When you find something.
Well, you were ready, and it's like, it's like when the student is ready, the teacher appears. About 5 years ago, I was ready to explore all of this, what we're doing, what I'm into now, when I met Barbara.
Mm-hmm.
And it's funny how we met, because, Barbara, and so we met, and we actually met through a multi-level marketing company, and she was signing up under somebody, but I needed something from the upline, and I walk in, and I'm me, la 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 la, you know, and she goes, "Hi, I'm Barbara, I'm a shaman." And I laughed and I said, "Hi, I'm Beanie, I'm the youth fairy."
She was way out of her closet.
But here's the thing, we connected, and I've always been intrigued with the whole metaphysical side, with the whole woo-woo stuff. And I just call it woo-woo because it's easier, you know, with the whole woo-woo side of it, because I always felt like, I felt it with everything in my body, there is more than what we're being told. And what's being shoved down our throats, you know, and it's like there's more. And so when the student is ready, the teacher appears. I was ready to learn and to step into that whole side, you know, and so I get it when you say, he said that, and you would like,
Yeah.
I get that.
Yeah.
I totally get that. That's so
And the thing
cool.
is that you weren't into astrology before that.
I had never done
Right. And just
anything
the-
with astrology
Right,
before
but
that.
it was that key, like the K astrology or chaos astrology, that all of
Yeah.
a sudden that was the spark. The light bulb went off.
Went off and I went,
Yeah.
"Oh, what is this? Tell me more about this." And then he's like, "Well, do you want to help me edit my book?" Me? You really want me to do this? You
The
don't
answer
understand.
is always yes, and then
And
you say,
that's
"Oh
what I
crap,"
said.
and then you do.
That's what
And
I
then you
said.
learn.
Yeah, I go. If any of my English teachers would have said I was doing this,
Okay, let me tell
they
you
would be
something.
rolling and laughing.
If my English teachers would see me now, I published a book in English. I grew up in Germany. English is my second language.
Girl.
I sucked in English.
I
Okay,
did
I
too.
barely made it.
Me
If they
too.
would see me now, they'd be like,
What?
Yeah,
"Huh?"
yeah.
So I get that.
But it's something that I was passionate about, and being able to help him understand some of the past life stuff, because a lot of the chart is related to what's happened in your past life. So
Right,
I
it's
was
all
able to go
related.
in and
Right.
be able to go, "No, that's not how that works." Nope, that's not how that works either.
Yeah, that's so interesting though too, because we talked about this story. When I was in school, I was always failing my spelling tests, right?
Me too.
And one of the nuns went, did you grow up in England? And I said, no. She goes, well, you're failing all your tests, but you're writing them all correctly if you were in England.
Really?
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, past life you did the England stuff.
Yeah.
Probably your most recent one.
possibly.
Well,
But-
you've done England a lot.
Or you've
Right.
done England a lot.
Right.
It could be.
But yeah, you know, and I mean, even today, sometimes I stop and have to think when I start to write something, where I have to get rid of the U or something in something because we don't pronounce it that way. We don't write it that way.
That's very cool.
Yeah.
No, that.
And that's
that
why
really
I'm,
is
you know,
cool.
like the Akashic Record thing. I'm like, ooh, this is, give me some insights here.
I mean, I've heard about it,
Yeah.
you know, and but I'm a nerd also. I'm all about the woo woo, but I'm also the scientific nerd. It's like, explain to me, you know, and understanding that's like it's at the quantum level, and I get that, you know, but it's so cool when things on this side come together with things on this side, and it's like, to me that's like Christmas and anniversaries and birthdays and everything all in one.
Yeah, the veil between the different thought processes is getting really
Right.
thin.
It is.
They're really starting to come together and cross, because where they're not getting their answers scientifically, but they're getting results with things where they can't
Right.
justify with this, but it's right in front of their face. They have to start questioning bigger.
Right. Yeah.
And
Quantum physics
yeah.
fascinates me.
Oh, me too.
I
Yeah,
know.
yeah.
Fascinates me.
I love it.
Me too. Because it does. It's that blending of the realms.
It is. Now, like, one of the things I do a lot is I do like a quantum type healing when people are having a lot of issues coming up. I said, okay, it's time for an introspection. Look within, right? Create sacred space, meditate, ask your guides to show you what your triggers are, right? And then now you have these, you know what the triggers, where they came from. Now, what is your behavior patterns when those triggers are fired? Now, at that point, are they yours? Or were they passed on? You know,
Ancestral.
Ancestral, exactly. And then you can go in and go to your ancestor, because quantum,
Right.
you fold space, they're on the same, literally the record's there of all the family tree on the same album. You're up here, they're over here, but you're on the same record. You can go quantumly over and have a conversation with that particular soul and say, make a different choice. Because everything's occurring simultaneously.
So, yeah,
So
I agree with
all of a
that.
sudden the behavior patterns shift in the family. Because if you do it for yourself, you're doing it for the whole family.
That's what I tell people when they do the Akashic readings with me, because I also do a clearing as part of my stuff, and it's like, this is clearing ancestral stuff. But if you continue to make the same choices that you've made up until this point, now that you have this knowledge, all of that stuff is going to go right back to where it was.
Right, yeah.
So it's up to you to go forward with your knowledge.
Because you're like halfway off the screen.
Am I halfway off the screen? No.
Oh.
We want you all in the screen, man.
She
We want all of your, we want all of your glory.
The God.
The God.
And the goddesses.
Nice.
I was looking, I was like, where's John? He's like, he's falling off
So
the
what is it
screen.
so that means there's more goddess energy here.
Well,
That's just awesome energy.
Or I just have such a big ego that I'm covering the other part.
There's that.
This year is actually the starting of the goddess energy. We're flipping from the male energy to the goddess energy now.
That explains a few things.
Yes, yes it does.
I got a really inappropriate comment, but I am not going there.
Oh, help me. This is, I love this. See, this is so much fun.
It is.
Yeah.
And for me, because my inner nerd, and because I am on this learning path with all of this. So, you know, when John and I agreed to do the show together, my inner nerd was like,
Yeah.
no, because I think it is fascinating and it's important because everything is connected. We are all connected. We're one organism, you know, and it's like, instead of fighting over why are we different, let's find out how we're the same. And how are we connected, and how can we, you know, make this a better world, and how can we make our relationships better, and all of that. So,
and any tool that you can have to go forward and do that,
Right.
Why not use it?
right, and the other thing too is like, again, people are afraid of what they don't understand.
Yeah.
So, you know, part of, for me, doing this show is to educate and let you all know, it's like there's really nothing to be afraid of, because we all are governed by the same laws, by the same energies, by the same everything, whether we like to admit it or not. You know, and the more we can understand, the more we can make it work for us.
Right.
I mean, you guys see my journey. You know, once I started shooting all over myself last year, April 1st, and I started stepping into me. And learning, you know, putting some of the stuff that I've learned up until then, but then I've learned so much more since then. And now I'm putting it to work for me. And it's amazing. And I just really want people to have that gift and have that knowledge. Because yes, knowledge is potential power. You know, it's like, understand what's going on around you. Why is your life awesome, or why does your life suck? Well, here's why. And I love that.
That's so funny. You go knowledge and power, and I go, oh, that's 9th house and 8th house.
And I said my house.
I am so immersed in this astruology stuff right now.
It's funny as you see all these connections.
I see people talking, and I hear words, and I'm like, oh, that's second triad. Oh, that's third triad.
And I'm like,
That's another thing with this Chaostrology is that the house, the sign, and the planet within that sign all have the same meaning. That's a difference than regular astrology.
say that again?
So in
I know, it's
any chart that there is, you
Right.
have 1 through 12 houses. So
Is it
Aries,
like correlates with the months?
yeah, so
Okay.
Aries, Taurus, Gemini goes all the way around. And then you have planets that are assigned to each one of those. In regular astrology, meanings are all over the place.
Mm-hmm.
This one, they are formulated with each one of those.
Huh.
So when you're reading the chart, it's not only easier to read the chart, but it gives you more in-depth knowledge. So I could read a chart 5 to 10 different ways, depending on what the person
What
is
they're
looking
looking
to
for? Okay.
receive from it.
Interesting. See, I would just look at it going like, yeah, Brenda.
Yeah, I get you.
Now, how long did it take for you to really start getting to understand?
I started
the
reading
symbolisms and
the book in February, dry, just never having my chart read. I had my chart done this past July, and I am just now really comfortable with the understanding. I can look at a chart and go, oh, that means this and that means this. Because first you look at it just like this, and then you look at it certain areas here, and then you triangulate stuff, and then, yeah, it can go many layers deep.
Is there math
Right.
involved?
There probably is, but I avoid it.
Now you speak my language, and I'm thinking it's like, okay, that's a lot of numbers and math,
Well,
and I'm
because
like,
you
not
do
it.
you have degrees. You have the planet is in the house, say, 25 degrees. It's meaning that's just starting into this house, which means that it's not going to have. It's
Big
not
effect.
clear center of the planet. It's not going to have as huge of an effect. It's still an aspect of it, but it's
so
not
it can have an
full on.
influence, but it's not gonna.
Oh, okay. Oh, that makes sense.
Mhm.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
That's fascinating.
Ever since I had my astrology reading done, I'm getting more fascinated by it. But I'm looking, I was like, that's a hell of a lot of work.
It's
And I don't know if
it's a lot of information.
Yeah, I'm like, I might just do with the intuitive guides. Can you tell me?
Help!
Though I'm really getting into the numerology thing, but I'm also connecting. I'm seeing the dots connecting with astrology,
Yeah.
and I'm like, because I've had my numerology chart done. I've been, and it was teaching you how to do it too at the same time.
Okay.
So I'm looking at that, and then I got a book that a friend lent me, numerology for dummies, and and I'm just like really starting to put things together, but I'm seeing these crossovers going into astrology.
I'm
And,
thinking it's like what Beanie Man said. We're it's all connected.
It is all connected.
Whether you look at the palm stuff like
Mhm.
you just did, the intuition stuff that you and I do, the different like theta healings, the Reiki, the astrology.
It's all energy, and it's all connected.
energy.
Yeah.
And
So on the numerology, fun fact, I'm born 7/27 at 7:27 p.m.
Wow.
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 Ow. But I had my my thing done with the numerology.
You're a 7 on that total number.
Well, my year is 66, so. But when she did it, she handed it to me. She goes, "Rarely do I see this power." And I'm like, thank you very much.
So you have the red underwear with a little S on it.
No, mine has the M on it.
M.
Supermom.
Supermom.
And last name Man, so I have the M.
Yeah, there you go.
Just go with that. But no, to me, numbers, I've never been into numerology, but I've always find it fascinating because, I've always known that everything is connected, so more fun facts. So, my birthday is, my husband and I, we have 2 sons, and we start our birthdays in May, June, July, August. My oldest is May 2nd, my youngest is June 2nd, 3 years apart. I'm July 27, and my husband is August 27.
Wow.
I know, right? Isn't that cool?
That's right. My husband and I are 5 hours and 5 minutes apart.
Shut up. That is so cool.
So who's
I'm older.
you're older?
Yeah.
So you're walking ahead, he has to follow you.
Yeah.
See, and I love the number 13, and Jeff and I are to the day 13 months apart. I'm 13 months.
Wow.
I'm 13 months older than him. Yeah, it's so cool. I've always
Yeah.
found that fascinating.
Yeah, but I'd love to see the two of them put together, the
Mm-hmm.
numerology and what you're doing with the astrology.
Yeah, that would be interesting.
You know,
And then
see
put in
how-
the
yeah.
Akashics too.
Yeah, well, yeah. See, I do some past life reading stuff, but it's
I'm a good guinea
not that
pig.
often. You know.
Well, I'm just going, wouldn't it be fun for us to just experiment
Yeah, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
with that together?
Yeah, it's what comes up, a new modality,
That'd be so
the
cool.
crossing of the different things.
And I'm the layman in the group.
Are you really? But are you really?
Really.
No, you know, because like we were talking about all the energy.
Right.
You know, you're saying the woo-woo. This is my stuff, the woo-woo.
Mhm.
You're connected with it already.
Oh, I know I have.
And the block, I think,
It's unblocking.
well,
I mean,
look
a lot
at
of
your
my
life.
block,
Look at your life right now.
and a lot of my block is self-imposed because I could, I wasn't aware.
Right.
I wasn't aware of this whole side, and when I do this side, I mean the woo-woo side because you're my woo-woos. I wasn't aware of all this side because I was feeding into what we're being taught. I mean, I grew up in Germany. We have two religions over there, Protestant and Catholic. I was brought up Protestant, but I never resonated with any of it, and it just did nothing for me. I left more empty every time I went to church. I went to a group or something. I ended up with more questions than real answers, and my analytical brain is like, well, that contradicts itself in the same sentence. What the fire truck? So it never resonated with me. So I really walked away from all of it. But I always knew and I always felt that there's more. There is more. I know there's a higher power. I know there's something governs to everything that we all fall under. I mean, gravity, hello, it works for everybody the same way. You drop something, it falls. Bam. So I always knew. And the more it's like when I started taking my power back, and for me to start taking my power back was the beginning of 2004. I was ready to end my life. I was physically, I was mentally, I was just done. And if it weren't for my kids and my husband, I wouldn't be here. But that's when I decided, it's like, you know what, I'm gonna fight, there's more. I'm gonna figure it out. And little by little, I was really, I was the one, you see in the cartoons, like, tongue hanging out, crawling up the hill. It's like, oh my God, I can, that was me. Until last year, April 1st, when it finally hit me.
What was the trigger on that?
I was a mortgage loan officer at the time,
Right.
which I hated every
See, that
minute
was
of
when
it.
I met you. I
Right.
met you before
Right.
April.
I hated every
last
minute of it. I did it for almost a year, but I was shooting all over myself. I thought I should get me a license and should do something, which still denying me. And then we had asked our boss, a bunch of us in the office had asked our boss for coaching, mortgage-specific coaching. And for me, when I asked for mortgage coaching, it's like, teach me how to talk to realtors. Teach me about mortgage. Teach me how I can connect with people on that mortgage level. And they hired a company, which was awesome, out of Denver. And we had to fill out the questionnaire, the initial thing. And it was April 1st, Sunday afternoon. I'm sitting on my bed with my feet up, with my laptop.
Look up the astrology thing on that date.
Oh, okay. But anyway, so I'm sitting there, and I'm looking at these questions, I'm answering, and I'm sitting there going, why am I doing this? This is stupid. I can teach this stuff. I can teach it. This is dumb. I hate it. I'm unhappy. Screw it, done, closed the lid, walked away, never looked back. That was when I made the decision, but I just knew that it'll come, it'll figure it out. And my kids that were living at the house, they're waiting to move into their apartment, and I said, hey guys, you busy? Can you help me clean out the office downtown? And they're like, good one, Mom, April Fools, ha 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 ha. And I'm like, yeah, when was the last time I did April Fools? They're like, oh crap, you got fired. I said, nah, I'm done with that. And giving Jeff the news was, he's retired command sergeant major, and before, for the last 10 years since we've moved here, I've been bouncing from here to there and doing this and you know, trying to figure out who am I, but nothing fit because nothing was me. So I didn't stay long with anything. So when I told him, it's like, yeah, I'm done doing mortgages. He's like, well, what the, quitting another freaking thing and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, whoa, stop. I know that's what it looks like. And we just celebrated 30 years this year. And I looked at him, I said, in all those years that we've been together, I said, what has been the one thing that I have been doing consistently, no matter how miserable I was, no matter how dark it was inside of me? And he looked at me and said, oh, I don't know. I said, I help people smile, be better, be more, and see a better perspective. He goes, oh yeah. I said, and now I'll do it on purpose with purpose.
Right.
And he looked at me, and all the tension that he, you know, that immediately came on, it all fell away, and he goes, that's cool, carry on, woman, I support ya.
Awesome.
You know, and to have his support, which I always have because he's amazing. But that's when I really started, and I tell people, it's like April 1st last year, 2018, was the day I stepped into my gift. And this is my gift. And since I've been embracing this, and things have changed quite a bit.
That's a key sentence right there. Since I've been embracing this.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I
I'm the
mean,
same
doors
way.
have
Yeah.
opened that I do things I would have never thought possible. You know, I have people coming in my life where I'm like, where have you been my whole life? You know, I wasn't ready. They were always there. I wasn't ready. I wasn't ready to receive the message. And now that I'm open, phew, it's coming. It's flooding, and I'm sitting there going, can you slow down a little? Like, it's like,
Where have you been? Oh, we're right here.
I know. Right. But I mean, the key really is, it's like, stop denying yourself.
Yeah.
And, you know, and stop buying into what the people are telling you.
Right.
You know, as your family, just because it's always been done like this in your family doesn't mean that's you. It wasn't me.
I can so agree with that. I came from Catholic, Baptist, Lutheran, Christian.
Wow, you got the whole whammy.
So it's no wonder that I was in my 50s before I went, okay, this is who I am and where
Better
I'm
late
going.
than never, right?
Exactly. But I see the people that I'm able to help.
And that's exactly it, you know, the differences, you know, and seeing people smile and getting that light bulb, it's like, oh my gosh.
Well, but
This
then
makes so
coming
much
back
sense.
and saying, you know, you've changed my life, or
Yeah.
you helped me see things from another perspective.
And that's that whole if this is wrong, I don't want to be right.
Right. I'm with you.
You can tell me that this is of this and this is of that, and I can go, I can name the people multiple times of who I have changed their life for the better.
Mm-hmm.
And if that isn't walking my path and being authentic, I don't know what is.
Right.
Right.
Now,
Amen, sister.
Now, do you have a college degree or any of that stuff? Right. Now,
You don't need that.
no,
because-
but what my point
Right.
is that it doesn't matter, right? Because when you follow your path, when you're following what your heart is telling you,
Mhm.
right, it doesn't matter what your education level is,
No.
because we can tap into all that information anyway.
Mhm.
All of us have that ability because
Right.
we have that divine spark within us.
And when you pay attention to the path that you've been on and take the best from everything that you've been through, that is just something that you can go forward and help other people with
Mhm.
at the same time too. So I
Exactly.
have a life degree.
Mhm. Right.
Not a
Right.
Paper degree.
paper
Well,
degree.
well,
Have
you know,
some
you know,
certificates, but
You know,
Yeah, but
the paper degrees, a lot of times I feel they create ego.
yeah.
You know, especially when we were talking on the other show about, you know, someone, a medical doctor and stuff like that, that I've been through all this training, I know what I'm a doctor.
I'm a god in white.
Yeah, basically. And it's like, wait a minute, but you have to be that spiritual being.
you have to be a
Mhm.
and
human
that human
underneath
being.
it.
Exactly. All
Mhm.
right. Because all that other stuff,
It's just stuff.
it's really like a block of wood. It's so restricted. It's locked The energy's locked in place.
Yeah, and most people really, they deny themselves. I mean, we all wonder, and I don't care, you're probably sitting there, maybe it's like, I'm not, I know this is all wrong, whatever, but you're watching the show, so there's curiosity right there, just saying. But seriously, it really starts with that little teeny tiny spark of curiosity. It's like, well, I'm gonna listen to this because what if they're onto something?
Right.
Or I'm listening to it just so I can debunk it and argue it. That's fine too.
That's fine too.
But that makes them grow anyway.
Exactly
And I'm
my
okay with
point.
that.
Yeah,
That's exactly my
I'm okay
point.
with that.
Either way, you're open to receive because you're listening to it, you're looking into it, which means your higher self is telling you, yes, you need to explore that because the path you have been on so far clearly not working for you because you're miserable, you hate your life, you don't have what you want, so maybe that way is not quite working for you. Explore other options.
Right. Well, we come down here, right, to have an experience, not to work yourselves to death. Right. It's to explore life, explore. Hey, I want to learn how to be a phlebotomist, or I want to learn how to
How
dance,
did you just
or
come
I
up
want to do
with
the
phlebotomist out of that?
I don't know
Thin
because
air.
I know, it's like,
it is. It was.
I saw it.
It was a drop of blood.
But that's part of one of the Akashic things I do is a life. It's called a life expression reading, and we have this smorgasbord of things that we can choose from that we want to experience,
Right.
and we
And
call
why-
it lessons.
And why lock it into one?
Yeah, and there's not more. There is definitely more than one. When I do the reading, I come anywhere from 3 to 5 that are your major overall theme, and then those branch off into things. But we're
Right.
here for the experience.
Exactly.
And yes, we want to
what
grow.
you saying? Are you saying we're spiritual beings in physical bodies?
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I'm not here and not there. I am there and here.
We're everywhere
Exactly.
all at the same
Yeah.
time.
Yes.
And what I love is so what I'm learning is like we're not just in this one dimension at this one time. We're like everywhere. It's so cool.
Like with the natives, you go into the dream time. Right. And that's the time where we're able to go into the other dimensions without inhibition.
Right.
What about dreams? Our dreams, sometimes we're crossing into those other places, the parallel universes and so forth. We
Astral
can begin,
travel.
basically, in a sense, it's a type of astral travel or quantum travel.
I like it.
Because,
No, I love it, and I have to say it's like the meditation you do with guided meditation by John. Whoa. I remember one time, I don't know if you remember that, it was me and 2 other ladies, and you were guided to go into like a forgiveness path. Do you remember that?
No.
No, I didn't think so, but anyway, just go with it. Because they needed the forgiveness part. I personally had already been past that. So while you were with them, I ended up, which was really bizarre for me, because that was the first time I experienced something like that, I was dancing with my tribe, which was Native American. And we were having a dance ritual. And it was so amazing, and then he ends the thing and we're all come back, I'm like, what the hell, I'm not done yet.
I was still dancing.
Yeah, and so we shared it, and and you don't have to share after, the thing, so, and the lady shared, and I laughed, I'm like, yeah, I went somewhere completely different.
And you see, and that's the thing with when I do my meditations,
amazing.
I try to remember to tell people, especially the new ones who come in, that my voice is only there to get you into a space to have your own experience.
Yes.
You don't have to follow the guidance
Absolutely.
of the meditation. You will go where you need to go to get what you need. All right, and then the sounds and the vibrations
Oh my
that
God,
I do,
it
because I
is-
do live music at the same time. I'm guiding, and I'll play
very
flutes
cool.
and
And he's got the
crystal
sing bowls and his
and
ditch,
all
and
my
it's like,
didgeridoo
oh my God,
and everything, and then
it's amazing.
take them down different pathways, and most times they'll, if I lift them up into the universe, some of them go down into the earth or into the oceans. And
It's amazing.
Like,
It's
absolutely fine, because you're going to go where you need to go, but if you try to go somewhere, generally you sit right where you
I was
are.
going to say,
Yeah.
you don't go anywhere, I bet.
Right, yeah.
That's what I was thinking.
Just let it go. I mean, it is truly it's phenomenal. I freaking love it. It's amazing. So it's like, and I meditate quite often.
I do too.
So because
I try to do it every morning and every
oh, sometimes we need
every
expert
night.
advice. You know, I need to have a staff meeting.
Yeah.
It's like,
As a solopreneur, I totally understand that.
and Jeff is so cute, you know, he sees me when I'm sitting on my bed and I'm like all relaxed and I got my headphones on and he comes in and he's like, oh, and he tiptoes back out. And the first time he did that, he says, I was going to ask you a question, but I saw you were doing your thing. You know, it's my thing. And I didn't want to interrupt. He said, was it good? I said, it was a great staff meeting. I got the answers I needed. The other thing I do, which is, for me, I go float. At the one of the float spas here.
I've floated once. And
Oh my
I loved
gosh.
it.
It is, for me, it's the best way to really
I
disconnect.
still haven't
because,
done it yet.
You need to.
dude, you need to.
You need to.
Because
It's very
even
cool.
even when I do it here, like with headphones on or something, there's still so much outside interference.
Right.
But when you're in that pod and I close the lid, I turn the lights off. I mean, it's just me, myself, and I. It is amazing, and you really disconnect. And oh my gosh, it is the coolest thing. I love it. Which reminds me, I haven't done it in a while because I've been so busy, so I need to schedule another appointment. So cool.
Yeah.
But I mean that connecting to really going within, and not. And here's the thing: what I found with meditation, you know, and I'm the least woo-woo here, so go with me here right now. I found out in meditation when I really need to find out what the message is, I listen with my heart. I make sure it's coming from the heart. And sometimes I really just have to put my hand on the heart to have that physical connection, you know, because then I know if it's coming from the heart or from my ego, from my head.
Right.
If it's coming from my ego, from my head, I don't use that information. But if it's clearly coming from this space right here, from my heart, oh yeah, game on. I love it. So that's what I found.
Advice.
That's what I found with the meditation, because I mean, and I know and I get people it's like, oh, I can't meditate, you know, and I tell them, I said, try breathing and breathe into your heart and have that heart-brain connection. You know, ask the question, have the intention of what you want out of it before, and because that's working for me. And again, I'm the layman here, you know, and it's like I have so much going on in my head all the time. It's like
Me too. I can meditate and I can be focused here on and my brain back here is still doing this.
Yes. Oh, mine. Yeah.
right, exactly.
That's like
but I mean,
breaking
and that's
it.
when
Just
I found
stop
that
for a
breathing
minute, but
and
yeah.
focusing on this space right here, and the messages I'm getting are really coming from here during my meditation.
But it's in those moments that you hit that stillness, because it does
Right.
come, and that's when it goes, oh, here you go.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like when you
Yeah.
shower, get your best ideas when you're on the pot or when you shower,
This is why I keep a dry marker
right?
in my bathroom for my mirror, because I write my stuff on my mirror.
Oh wow, that's
Because when you're sitting there, or when you're driving and you're just like zoning, that's when the stuff comes, because your mind is clear.
Mm-hmm.
When you're in the shower, I started singing in the shower because I cannot remember, by the time I come out, I cannot remember writing it all down. I started singing in the shower.
So that you can remember to write it by the time you get out.
No. So my brain shuts up.
Oh,
Because you cannot think and speak at the same time.
this is true.
So I hum or I do something other than let my mind go blank these days in the shower, because I've gotten flooded. I mean, pun intended, you know, in the shower, really flooded with ideas and information. And it's like, oh my God, I gotta remember this. By the time I'm dry and go to my notebook, it's gone.
right.
It is gone. And I was like, damn! It
That
was
was
so
so
good!
good.
And I can feel it was good, but I don't remember, for the life of me, I can't remember what it was. I just remember it was good. So I started humming or singing, you know, or whatever, anything to keep my mind occupied. And then when I'm done, I sit in the still. And I was like, okay, now bring it. If it's still important, bring it now.
Right.
Because then I can write it down right away too.
So I have a fun fact for you.
Oh, I like fun facts.
My meditation.
Click,
my meditation for my master's Reiki class came in the shower.
Oh, wow.
That is It was
Right.
I heard a meditation like it, but it just came to me, and that's
Nice. And I tried that dry erase thing in my shower. It washes away.
Yeah, no, I do it on my mirror after I get out.
Oh, but see, by the time I come out,
Yeah, if you can't remember it when you get out.
I mean, it literally flushes down with the water, and that's why I was like,
You get one of those waterproof recorders.
well, that makes sense.
That's a genius idea.
I know. That makes way too much sense.
Right?
Funny thing is,
Oh, actually,
when I was
your
a
phone,
kid,
Google, record.
yeah,
Not in the shower.
No, but you have it like, you can have it sitting on your sink. It still hears it.
This is
Right.
true.
You know, you might get gibberish by the time it's done typing, but hey, it's a thought.
when I was a kid, I used to come up with a lot of inventions, and I had a sketchbook, and I would, I'd do my doodling in it, but every once in a while I would put stuff in there, and one of them was that the toothpick with the little string on it.
Mm-hmm.
I had
Blah, blah,
drawn it in my sketchbook at one time, and all of a sudden, like several years later, my mom's, oh, she has this thing, and I go, I said, I invented that. She goes, no, you did not. And I go, yeah. And I went searching for my sketchbook, and I pop it open, and it's with my, like, when I was 9, 10, or 11-year-old drawings, and right in the middle of the pages, right there, was the exact thing that she was holding in her hand.
Fun
Because
fact.
they believe that these inventions, these ideas, hit multiple people
Exactly.
at the same
The
time.
universe
Exactly.
sends it out to
Yes.
multiple,
And
and somebody will run with it.
Yes.
Michael Jackson one of his stories is he would call his producer up in 2 o'clock in the morning. I've got this idea for Michael. This can wait till the morning. No, if I don't do this right now, somebody else, Prince, is going to do this song, and I want to do this song.
Yeah.
It's the same thing.
That's exactly what it is. It's like it goes out to multiple. I mean, it's like a net being cast,
Right.
catching fish. It's like one will stick and one will run with it. Not everybody is open to the information, but there's that one, and that's the one it's meant to be.
Yeah, I think it was, I don't know if it was Alexander Graham Bell or Thomas Edison.
One of them.
One of those guys had talked about that exact thing that we're talking about right
I
now.
think it was Thomas Edison.
Yeah, that the ideas come out simultaneously like radio signals, and depending on whose antenna is up, and
Who's tuned into that
who's
station?
tuned into it,
And
who
willing to walk.
and right, exactly, and put
Yeah.
it into action.
Action?
Yeah.
What? You mean I have to take action? You have to do something and be responsible? What?
I think that's probably one of the biggest flaws of the law of attraction movement, was that everybody thought you could just sit in your chair and meditate and go,
I know.
it's all going to come to me. Yes, it's going to come to you.
But what are
yes,
you gonna
it's
do
going to
with
be
it?
there. But you have all the ingredients. You have to put the cake together.
Yes, yes, exactly.
You mean I have to, what? What's wrong with you? I don't think we can be friends anymore.
You have to do
You
the
mean
action.
work?
You have to do the action. And it took me a while
That's
to
an ugly
understand
four-letter
it
word,
this
by the way.
And the funny thing is, the action doesn't have to be something huge.
No.
No.
It-
And
it-
it can be something you love.
Yeah.
I'm walking proof
Imagine
of that.
We all are. All three of
Yeah.
us are.
Walking proof of
He was a police officer.
when you do something that you love, the people will find you.
And the right circumstances and the right everything will come, and it will come at the right time. It may not be our right time,
Yeah.
in our head right
In our
time.
head, yeah.
It
It's
is
always
our
the
right
right
time.
time,
It's
but
always the right
it's
time. It's
always
always
the
the
right
perfect.
time.
It's always the right people. You know, it's just like we expect that the package to come in with a nice bow
Pretty
and
bow.
exactly how we want it.
No,
That's
it's
not
more
how it
like
works.
the image of you crawling.
I know.
That's more likely.
It really
Where it
is, you
is.
know, and sometimes you get that hit with a 2x4. It's like for me writing my book. I was like the first 2 weeks after April 1st, you know, it's like, oh, I'm going to do coaching and I'm going to like coaching package together. Nothing flowed.
Right.
Nothing. For 2 weeks, I'm like, what the hell? You want me to do this, but roadblocks and what? However, random people that I didn't even know, knew nothing about me, they're like, so do you have a book? When is your book coming out?
Oh my
And they
God.
kept talking
Oh, no, I
to
get
me.
I've
that.
had 3 people within the last couple months ask me that.
Right.
I've been having that for the last 8 years, 10
Right?
years.
Oh,
So
good.
when are you
you've
going to
not
do your
written
book?
yours yet?
No, I sat down at the computer. right? I have a thing I'm trying to write, and I get, where do I start? I don't know what to write about. I mean, even when I was going to therapy with my son, I'd have a session, and he says, John, you got to write a book with your experiences. God, he goes, I've never met anybody who had so many experiences.
We'll talk on that
off
the show.
But the thing is that I don't know what to write. And I don't think it's anything fantastic. I don't think it's anything so big.
It doesn't matter.
That's the funny
Not
thing.
for you, but for somebody else it is.
Right.
Because Lisa Nichols, and I love her, Lisa, you're
I
my
love
person.
Lisa too.
She says, your story is not yours to keep.
Right.
Because what is mundane and boring for us is extraordinary and game changer for somebody else.
That's
And
the same with
we'll
gifts.
talk.
That's the same with like intuition and psychic
Yes.
and happiness.
Mhm.
When it's just normally who you are.
Right.
I all my life have known things. Just known things. I thought everybody did that.
I know, right?
I
Me
had
too.
no idea that the vast majority of people just don't know things. What do you mean you just don't know that?
Well, I'm
How
not
do you
going
not
there.
know that?
We got the button that goes, duh.
But now that I've learned about the clairs,
Yeah.
I've got a good multitude of them.
Right.
Explain the clairs.
I had to develop some of them, but I can't even know. Clairvoyance is the one that always comes to mind, and that's where you clairsentience, claircognizance,
yeah.
Yeah. So which is the one that you just know things? Clairsentient.
Yeah, I'd say yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I'll say clairvoyance and clairsentience. They run in the.
Because the clairvoyance is where you actually see
in your mind's eye
and
or
I
physically.
definitely can now see things, and then
Which
recently.
one is the one when you feel? Because I feel, I know things, but for me it's through a feeling.
Those go real close to
And
hand.
that's actually, and I notice that more and more because I'm
That's why it's so much
studying more
easier
of
just
my
to say clairs. I shouldn't have opened up all those other ones.
Right.
I forgot
That's why I went with the clairs.
All right. I'm
knew
looking
that.
now.
I knew that lane.
See, I was just seeing how far they knew.
I knew that lane.
Yeah.
Google makes you smarter. Google it.
Google it.
Yes, Google it. Look up the
But
clairs.
recently, I'm able to. I just started the medium stuff. I've never been able to that I knew of, been able to collect with people that have passed over. But I had a client that was in Reiki, and I thought for sure this was an older lady that came through. I'm like, okay, if you're somebody significant to her, I need something that I can give to her. First time I've ever said that. Well, clear as day, I see laundry weapon, and I smell fresh laundry as well. And I was like, okay. And she's like, explaining to her, she's like, oh my God, I know who that is. They were a fanatic about having laundry out. I'm like, well, alrighty then.
Yeah.
You get what you asked for.
Right.
And you do, and it's like back to my book.
Let's just be in an open channel.
Right.
Literally an open channel.
Right.
That you receive all the different signals.
And that,
And
yeah,
that's what you're doing now.
that's awesome.
And I ask permission for it.
Yeah.
I don't want to do this for anybody that doesn't want it.
Right.
You shouldn't.
And I think that's another thing for this woo-woo stuff that gets a bad rap is if someone's just rushing up to me and going, well, my guides told me to tell you, you go, your guides aren't talking to me about me because only my guides know about me. It's your guides that would be telling me something, and I need to have your permission to tap into your guides. Thank you very much.
Right.
Well,
No, I mean,
They're
the
boundaries.
permission
They're
part.
boundaries. Boundaries.
Bingo.
Mhm.
Boundaries.
That's right. And that's, where there's a famous psychic that's out there who, they portray her as just hitting people up in supermarkets and all that type of
I
stuff.
don't believe she does.
And a lot of that is staged.
Exactly.
For the media.
But it sells.
But it sells,
Mhm.
And if you talk to anybody who does the reality shows, they said a lot of that, there's a good portion that they scripted in there to make the show big. And,
Mhm.
But I think the audience here needs to know that there are boundaries.
Right.
If someone's
create
just saying, "Hey, I got this for you," why?
Right.
What gave you permission to get that for me?
Absolutely. Absolutely. No,
Don't
that
just
permission
go-
part is huge.
Don't boundaries. And same way with my psychicness. There's boundaries. I don't want this information 24/7. I only want it when I'm asking for it.
Well, more or
What,
less.
you mean you wanna sleep
And
and all
some
that?
people say they can't, that's not possible, and if you're thinking, I said, no, it is.
It is.
Because, everybody goes, well, you should have known this person is this, and you should have known, and I said, why? Why? I said, do you think I'm gonna go around going,
That's exhausting.
I know.
It is.
Exhausting.
Yeah.
But that's not,
I
that's
don't
not your
wanna know that
purpose.
you're sleeping with your, no,
No.
I don't wanna know any of that stuff.
No.
That's not my business.
Right.
If you ask me for something and, and I'm allowed to do that, I'm gonna give
Yeah.
you.
Mhm.
Other than that, I'm not turned on. The
No.
antennas,
And I think it's
Switches
important
off.
to let people know that they have that permission to turn that off. Not only do you have the permission to not have the stuff you receive, but you also have the permission to
Mhm.
not be on 24/7 receiving.
Because one thing I've learned, the spirits, they love to talk.
Some of them, yes.
They love to talk, and when they realize that you can understand, you can hear, they won't shut up
right.
unless you tell them.
Well, that's
And
again,
it's like
that's
have
the boundary
office,
thing.
right? Set the office hours, you know.
It's that movie. Well, it's that movie with that dentist, the English guy. He has an accident, and all of a sudden he starts seeing dead people, and the dead people are noticing that he's seeing them, and they all start following him all over the place.
You're like, no.
And
no.
it's like,
You can follow me, but I'm not talking to you until.
right, yeah. If
Until office hours.
Yeah, right. Unless you're saving my life, and something's coming up, and it's like, don't step out into the street.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
That's something different. That's fine.
That's a whole
That's
different-
Oh, right.
Yeah.
that's
That's
always
funny.
allowed in that respect.
That's funny.
The guardians are always allowed to speak, but
Yes.
No, it's just I love talking this, and we can talk about this for like ever, but
yeah,
we gotta.
you've got so much time. People are going, okay, God.
It's like, okay, people, now you're rambling. Stop chasing the squirrels. Come back, finish it out.
Right.
I'm a really good squirrel chaser too, so.
Yeah, I think most of us who do this work must be, because that element.
It's fascinating, and there's so much, and it's just like, whoa.
I
And it's when you talk about
How
one
you
thing, it
doing?
opens up the channel for something else, and it's just like,
think that's why I have as many modalities as I do right now. is
I love it.
because-
So name your modalities.
So the Akashic Records, we have the main reading, the relationship reading.
What's the main reading?
The main reading is for you. It's
Oh, okay.
it's your soul reading. It's finding out who you are at soul level, what karmas, what dharmas, what negative guides you might have, anything that is affecting you from your past life to now. I have the life lesson one that we talked about. Relationships can be relationships that you have with your mom, your daughter, your son.
the dog.
Close relationships.
The dog.
Not with the boyfriend that you had 4 years ago that you want back.
Don't ignore the dog.
Dog. And then I'm just now, because I'm a crazy woman, I'm starting a new modality that does energetic readings for businesses, because I'm a businesswoman and I believe you bring who you are into business with
Absolutely.
you. So that's just another fun thing I'm doing. And then the Chaostrology that is my next big thing that's going
I
to
love that.
eventually
Remember, you have two people who want to be guinea pigs.
that are going to be put in. So
No, that's awesome. Thank you so much for being
Yeah,
here, for
you're
sharing
welcome.
all your wisdom and your just you,
thank you.
because you're awesome and freaking love you. I do.
Thank you.
And,
I love you too.
I can't wait for you to get more into the astrology part there. And then
I
come back
see
and
by
then-
December, January, I will be doing readings with my mentor. I'm kind of the intern stage right now.
You need guinea pigs, sign me up.
Yeah, but I'm also with my learning stuff. I can do
Right.
you as one of my guinea pigs for the learning.
Anytime.
And do you want my website?
Yes, actually, well, what we do is you can say it, but I also put it in, like on my other show, I put it in the end, because that way people can, pause, I need the information.
Awesome. Because
No,
you're
but-
good like that.
And I can, we'll have her back.
Yes.
You'll be like one of our repeat offenders.
I like that.
But no, seriously,
Y'all are
Brenda.
great
Thank
energy.
you.
Great energy.
I know, right? We have a
Great
mow.
energy.
I mean, we have a mow.
We got 'em all.
Yeah.
So thank you so much for being here,
Thank
for
you for
sharing
having
all
me.
Yes,
that.
thank you.
Anytime.
Yes.
It
You're
was
welcome
a
back
blast.
anytime.
It was fun.
So,
Cool.
thank you guys.
Thank
I'll
you,
put her
everyone.
info. Her info will be at the end. With us. So we'll be at. Well, ours will be there too, and Mo. Let's not forget Mo.
Can't forget Mo.
Thanks for tuning in. Hope there was some information in there for you. I know we went, like, you know.
Well, that's why the squirrels are.
That's why we chase
in the
squirrels.
title,
We
yes.
race- you know?
Wherever
Exactly.
it flows, that's where
Exactly.
it goes.
So, thank you all again. As always, be happy, be kind, be love. Until next time. Bye.
Bye.